So basically, my name is Nikhil. I'll be taking up uh, LRDI for you. Okay. So we will starting very fundamental things. I'll start with a very basic question, which is the first thing that we always start with. I always start with all my sessions. Can you tell me what is the difference between a ratio and a fraction? Yeah. So you were saying the fraction, if I say it is 3 upon 5, and the ratio is also 3 upon 5. Do they mean the same thing, or do they mean anything else different?
So ratio is more of a comparison between two things, and fraction is a part of one particular thing, like
With
three-fourth of some
with
particular,
respect to, yeah, very very close. With respect to what? Fraction is a comparison of a part with respect to what?
the entire
Very good.
part.
Yes, it is a comparison of a part with respect to when compared with the total quantity, right? And this is a comparison of part with respect to another part. Okay, so if I say I bring a cake for you guys and I divide the cake into 8 parts. Okay, and then I gave 3 parts of the cake to Gauri and 5 parts of the cake to Hannah because she joined early. She was a good student. She joined early. Gauri joined late, so she had to pay for because of, and then thereby getting one less part or two less parts of the cake. So what did I do here? I divided a cake into 8 parts, of which 3 parts were given to Gauri and 5 parts were given to Hannah. So this is what did we do here? We divided it in the ratio of 3 upon 5. So if I say, what is the fraction of the cake that Gauri gets? Can you tell me, Gauri?
3/5, because
No.
5 is, oh, 3/8.
Yes.
8 is the entire part.
Gauri got 3 parts of the cake when the total parts were 8. Right. And what is the fraction of the cake that Hannah gets? Hannah?
Sir, 8. No, wait, sorry. No, sir, 5/8.
5 by 8. Right. So what is fraction? A comparison of part with respect to whatever the total is. And what is ratio? A comparison of parts. Ratio can also be converted into fractions, just like what we did here. And similarly, fraction can also be converted into ratio. Let's say if there were only 5 parts, and I gave, because I was expecting only, well, there was only one student in the class at that point of time. So I gave Hannah 3 parts out of the total 5 parts that I had. Right. So this is like dividing in the fraction. What fraction does Hannah gets? 3/5. So what fraction ratio that does Hannah gets, and the ratio that Hannah doesn't get is 3/2. So that is like dividing in the ratio or converting a fraction to a ratio and ratio to a fraction. Is this understood by everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if I talk about LRDI, or before that, if I talk about DI specifically. So DI, when earlier, if you know the evolution of the whole thing of CAT, if I talk about, earlier it used to be LR and DI, right? From the last few 5-7 years, it is now LRDI, which is logical reasoning based data interpretation. Okay. Earlier it was logical reasoning and data interpretation. So the difference between that is earlier there used to be some logical reasoning based concepts, logics. Okay. Let's say cubes chapter was there, arrangements was there, puzzles were there, direction sense, blood relations, number series, alphabet series, alphanumeric series, coding, decoding, input, output. Okay, these all chapters used to be there in logical reasoning. And data interpretation used to be again graphs and everything, right? Graphs, tables, okay, some special graphs, all of that. So in order to learn data interpretation, you needed only the concepts of ratios, the concept of percentage, the concept of averages, and sometimes the concept of variation. Okay, so these are basically mainly these three chapters, but somehow we also do talk about this fourth chapter, which is variation. Or uh, as soon as we used to teach you ERPV, which is equation ratio proportion variation, we were ready to start teaching you data interpretation also. Okay, so that used to be a scenario earlier on. But nowadays, what is the kind of pattern which CAT follows? Again, there's no specific syllabus for LRDI. Okay, the syllabus that we have made, us the teachers have made, who have been teaching for the last a decade and more. We have said that there's a chapter which is very important: games and tournament. Okay, then comes logic-based data interpretation. Okay, then comes number-based data interpretation. Then would come arrangements. And in arrangements, there is a very famous chapter, which is called matrix arrangements. Okay. There are linear arrangement, there is circular arrangement, there is distribution, then there is selection, and then there is matrix arrangements. Okay. So the Venn diagrams, the fifth being Venn diagrams and set theory. But even then, whatever you need to do, these ERPV chapter, you have to be very hands-on with. You need to be having a very proper grasp of all these concepts of, you know, ERPV. You should be having calculation. Even though CAT, there is a calculator which is allowed, on-screen calculator is allowed in the examination, which is there in the uh, right top corner. Okay, it is there somewhere here. It would be mentioned something like this. Would be an option where you click it, the calculator will get activated, and you can only do normal calculation that like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Even powers and everything is not allowed there. Okay, so these are the things that you will be getting. Okay, so these are the chapters. Then you should also be having a proper understanding of a chapter or a unit that most of the students skip. That is permutation and combination and probability, because a lot of logics get developed while you study these chapters. Even though if I talk about probability and PNC, the syllabus or the coverage is literally very lesser in the examination of in the paper of quantitative aptitude also. Okay, do you have a proper idea what is the breakage and quant section of all of the chapters or the units?
No, sir.
Okay. Is this your first class, second class, third class, fourth class? What is the scenario like? What all you have studied as of now?
Yesterday we had quantitative ability, and that is it. Like, that was the first class.
Okay. In that, what did you study?
Percentages.
Okay. So you No, and what all in percentage? Successive percentage was discussed or not?
Yes.
Successive percentage was discussed with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the formula of successive percentage if I ask? How do you calculate successive percentage? Will you both be comfortable in switching on your camera? Because it would be a lot more interactive class. Can we have your camera?
Yeah. So the formula is number into multiplier is equal to the answer.
Matlab- Okay. I'll ask you another question. If I say there is a successive percentage discount, you all must be doing a lot of e-commerce shopping and everything. You must be buying clothes on Myntra and everything, right? Do you do that?
Yes.
You know, so you must have seen there are offers like 40% plus 25% off, right? So what does it mean? 40% plus 25% off. What does that mean? Does that mean 65% discount or a little more, little less? What exactly?
So 40% discount on the MRP and 25% on the discounted price.
Very good. So if I say what is a uh, net discount that you are getting out of the whole thing? Is it more than 65? It is less than 65 or equal to 65?
Maybe lesser than 65.
Good, good. You're correct. But the formula was not discussed with you as of now, right?
So there was one more formula we were taught, I just forgot. It was A plus B plus AB upon 100.
Yes, very good. So if you apply this particular formula, in this formula, what are A and B? A and B are individual percentage values, which comes with a sign. Do you know how these formulas are derived? Or why this formula, how this formula came into being? Firstly, the answer would be 40% discount because the formula is A plus B plus AB upon 100, right? As you told me, is equals to overall, or you can call it to be net percentage. Now, these A and B are percentage values. What are they? They are percentage values which comes with a sign. Which comes with a sign. And what do we mean by that? The sign would be plus if I say it is a profit. The sign would be minus if it is a loss. Okay. It would be increase is plus, decrease is minus. If it is a markup or a tax, it is plus. If there is a discount or a rebate, it is minus. So when I say 40% plus 25% off, that means 40% is also a discount, 25% is also a discount. Now, minus into minus, what would that become?
Plus.
Very good. It would become plus. So 25 ones are 25 fours are, 4 ones are 4 tens are. So it would be minus into minus plus 10. So that means a net discount of 55%. Okay,
Yeah.
understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. So apart from this formula, there is one more formula, or were this the derivation of this formula derived or discussed?
No, we were
Okay.
just taught the formula yesterday.
Okay. So if I say we have three people, one is Hannah, then we have Gauri, and then there is Nikhil. Okay. So Henna sells a particular item to Gauri at a profit of 20%. And Gauri sells to Nikhil at a profit of 25%. Okay. So the item moves from the hand of Henna to the hand of Gauri and thereby finally to Nikhil, right? So that item which had traveled two times is called, such a concept is called successive percentage. So if the question is, what is the overall percentage increase in the costing of the item? So in such a scenario, successive percentage is used. Okay. Now, before that, were you taught the concept of initial change and final? Or do you know the
For
concept?
compare the percentage change in quantity bought or some for the price given or something.
Good, good, good. So initial, uh, from initial, if you have to reach the final, the change can either be a plus change or a minus change, right?
Yes.
For example, I'll take one example with you. If let's say in the year 2020, I had some 50,000 rupees with me. I gave to Henna and Henna gave me back 75,000 rupees in the year 2024. So in these 4 years, what is the benefit I got by investing my money in the hands of Henna? What would that be, guys?
20,000.
25,000. 25.
25,000. Okay. So 25,000 is the profit that I earned or a change that happened. Now, if I have to compare and get an idea that what this money means to me, or what is the percentage change that came about. So the change percentage is always the change when compared with the initial value multiplied by 100. Okay. So what is the percentage change? The change is of 25,000 when the initial value was 50,000. So what happened here? A overall percentage change of 50% happened. Is it clear? So I gained my half of the investment as a change. 50% means half, right? So I gained 50 percentage out of the investment I made in the hands of Hannah. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this concept is such a beautiful concept. It is not just used in data interpretation. It is there with you. It will be there with you in the concept of profit and loss. It will be there with you in the concept of SICI. Can I prove it to you? Or should I prove it to you? Now, if I have 50,000 rupees with me, okay, I gave, let's say, Henna said, sir, I want to order cookies from you, from your, your home-made cookies I want. So I said, okay, I will courier the cookies to you to Pune, but those, let's say, 100 boxes of cookies would cost you 50,000 rupees. Okay. So sorry, would cost you 75,000 rupees. Okay. And in my mind, I was calculating that my investment in making these 100 boxes of, let's say, 1 kg each was how much? Was 50,000 rupees. Let me say a particular value so that I earn something out of it, because my cookies are so famous. So I said it would cost you 75,000 rupees. So what is my selling price? How much I am giving it for? 75,000. What is the cost that I'm incurring in making these cookies? That is 50,000. So what is my profit in this transaction? Can you tell me? Can you tell me what is the
25,000?
Yes. So this is how the first formula of profit and loss was made. And that is cost price plus profit is equal to selling price. I am very hopeful you have already studied that, right? In our fifth, sixth, seventh class. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, the second formula. Now this change or this profit is equal to what? The change. This initial or this cost price is equal to the initial, and this final is corresponding to the selling price. So what is the formula of change percentage? Instead of change, if I write profit, it would be profit percentage. Again, instead of change, if I write profit, I'll write, instead of change, I am writing profit here. Instead of initial, what will I write? What will I write?
CP.
Very good. So this is how the formula was built up. Profit percentage is profit upon CP into 100. So this is how the formula, the concept of CPPSP and profit percentage formula came into being from the initial logic of initial change file. Understanding the power of this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Taking one more example. Now, as we discussed, I gave Henna a principal amount, a principal money of 50,000, which Henna returned back to me by giving a interest, a interest of 25,000. What is the extra money that she gave me? She gave me 25,000 extra money. So that is the interest I earned by giving my 50,000 rupees to Hannah for 4 years, isn't it? So this is how
Yes.
the formula of SICI or the chapter of interest actually came into being. Principal plus interest is called amount. Now, if I again compare interest with the change, so can I say instead of change, if I write interest percentage, so it would be interest upon what, guys? What is principal corresponding to?
Interest upon
Interest.
principal into 100?
Very good. So this is interest percentage is interest upon principal into CP. I guess this is not the formula that we learned, isn't it? So is my concept failing? Not exactly. Let me discuss with you. Now this interest percentage involves two concepts. So I told you in 4 years, I gained because it's from 2020 to 2024. In these 4 years, what is the money that I made? I made 25,000 rupees, right? And I earned 50 percentage. This is what we calculated, right? So if in 4 years it is 50 percentage, so what would that be in 2 years or in 1 year? Or if I say that if Hannah says to me that, sir, this time you give me 50,000 rupees, in 2 years span, I will return back 75,000 rupees to you. So what would be my interest percentage then? Can you tell me? Okay, I guess it is becoming a little confusing. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Just slightly.
no issues. I am just saying to you, in 4 years, if you are getting 50 rupees, so in 1 year or in 2 years, what you will be getting? 25 rupees. In half the time, you will be getting half the amount, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
In one fourth of the time, you will be getting one-fourth the amount. Or with respect to two, if I take up one, so it would be half of two is one. So half of 25
Yeah.
would be 12.5.
12.5.
This is what I was talking about.
Yes, got it, sir.
Okay. So I was saying in 4 years, it is 50 percentage because per year, or I guess it was becoming confusing because of the reason I was explaining, the way I was explaining it. It is not your fault, it is my fault. No issues. Okay. So I am saying if henna gives me 50 percentage in 1 year, okay, so what is the interest percentage I am getting per year? Can you tell me that? 50%. If henna gives me 50% only in 2 years, so what would my calculation go? It would go like interest percentage per year would just be 25 percentage now, isn't it? 25% the
Yes,
first
sir.
year, 25% the second year. And if henna says, sir, I will give you 50 percentage, but this time in 5 years, what would my mind say? Oh,
And percent.
I'm getting only 10% interest. Isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, so actually, this thing is called interest percentage. This thing is called
Interest percentage.
interest percentage, which has two components. One is interest percentage per year, which is called rate, and the second is time. And if you multiply these two, just see here, if you multiply 50 with 1, you will get 50. If you multiply 25 with 2, you will again get 50. If you multiply 5 with 10, again you will get 50, isn't it? So interest percentage has two components, time and year. So now instead of interest percentage, if I write T into R percentage is equals to interest upon principal into 100, and then I take up P this side, what would that become? It would become P into R into T, and if I take 100 below, will it not become this formula?
Yes, sir.
And did we study this formula in our school days?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is how the concept of initial change and final goes about and comes back to us. Okay, someone is saying something, I guess.
No, sir,
Oh,
by mistake.
okay.
I got it. The concept is clear.
Okay, perfect. So again, I am repeating, if you can switch on your cameras, it would be great. It would be a more interactive class. After teaching a concept, I will talk to you for 2 minutes so that we can, get a hold of these things. Okay. So I'm moving ahead as of now, but after 5 or 7 or 10 minutes, I would require your cameras to be on. Okay. So,
So, from our next session onwards, I'll make sure that the camera is on. Right now, there's no electricity in my house because it's raining very heavily here.
okay. No issues. No issues. No issues.
Yes.
Perfect. So,
So, next session onwards for sure.
done. Shall we move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Now, not just with the concept of profit and loss, even if I go in depth to the concept of profit and loss, you know what is that? Let's say Hannah knows how good cookies I make. So she ordered. Okay. So what did I do? I was the maker, she was the purchaser. We had a transaction of cost price, profit, selling price. Things were sorted, right? But if my cookies become a brand now, okay, if my cookies become a brand and I try to sell those cookies uh, through some showrooms and everything, then what would be the scenario like? Then what would your scenario like? It would be
More
something like
profit.
no, there will be one more component which will get added. It will be something like I make the cookies in my factory. I transfer these cookies to a showroom. From showroom, the customers buy. So isn't it another layer which is
The
there?
profit will be divided, like wholesaler, retailer, and the customer. Right.
That thing or something else? Let's talk about that. So in the factory, whatever I am making, okay, that is going to be my cost price, right? Now, before selling to the showroom, what will I do? I'll try to mark up my cost price. Okay, by making, by putting a tag on something like that. So this mark price, or is called, also called list price, is also called tag price, is also called MRP. You must have seen those, yellow kind of yellow paper is which is put on the item on which MRP is written, something like that. Remember? Have you seen
Yes,
that?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So that is what. Do you think that is the cost involved in making the product? Is it a cost or something else? Is it cost?
Cost, cost and the value that it holds relatively in the market.
Not exactly. Because if you ask for discount, they can also give you discounts. That is the
Yes, sir.
maximum retail price. That is called the maximum retail price. Not beyond this price, the item should be sold, is what this particular thing entails. Okay. So then when the item is in the showroom, okay, the showroom people may give some kind of discounts to the incoming guest, and thereby after the discount, whatever price the item is sold at is now called the selling price. So from the concept of cost price till the concept of selling price, whatever happens in between is called the profit, which we already know, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this whole cycle is called, also called an implication of successive percentage. Okay. Now, if I want to teach you the formula or derive another formula for you using the concept of A plus B plus AB upon 100 is equals to net percentage. Can I say this markup is the first change which is happening? So, and the
Yes.
markup is always in the positive side of the thing. Do you expect someone to actually make a product for 100 rupees but put a tag on it for 75 rupees? Will that ever happen?
No, sir, because
No.
it will incur a loss.
Right. So, what we always do, if I make an item for 100 rupees, I'll try to put a tag on it for, let's say, 200, 250 rupees, as per my aspiration goes. I say that because this pen has actually touched me, so this pen is now worth 5,000 rupees, even if I had bought it for 100 rupees, let's say. Okay. So I'll always try to mark up the things. Okay. Then after markup, can any showroom can sell the item for the cost more than the mark price or the MRP? No. You can even go to customer court if you find anyone selling more than the MRP, right? Have you actually fought with any retailer for trying to sell you a particular item for more than the cost price?
So not recently, but like in my childhood when I was like 4 or 5, so there was this shop who used to sell cold drinks and they used to charge for the fridge that they
Exactly.
used to keep
Same thing
in
happened
the.
to me. The same thing used to happen, not in the regular, shop and everything, but every time we used to go when I was very young, and we used to go to some hill station or by train anywhere, the railway people used to do that. Sir, 20 rupees की cold drink है, but 25 rupees इसको ठंडा करने का charge है ना?
Yeah.
So, this is what was a dialogue that he used to say, right? So Selling the item beyond the mark price or the MRP is not allowed. Okay, it's a you can go to customer code for that. Okay, so always you can only give a discount on the items. Okay, so after discount, whatever, so here the discount would be negative only, because after giving a discount, if an item is if the MRP is 100 rupees, after discount you have to pay 110 rupees. Is it possible?
No, sir.
No.
It is possible in Zomato and Swiggy, guys, right? If when we order food on Swiggy and Zomato, the item is costing, let's say, 200 rupees, and when we actually, after applying a code of 60% also, we have to pay more than 200 rupees. Doesn't it happen?
Yes,
But
sir. With all the
that
taxes
is
and everything
The
included.
delivery charges and the
that is
taxes.
different. That is different. But yes, here it cannot happen, right? So the discount would be minus. Now, what is plus into minus? What is plus into minus?
Minus.
Minus.
It is minus MD upon 100. And what would be that? The net thing from cost price to selling price. What is the net thing? Profit. So this is a very important formula wherein M, comma D, comma P are not denoting, listen to me very properly, are not denoting the markup, discount and the profit. They are denoting percentages. These are not values, these are percentages. It's not like if the markup is 100 rupees, so I'll put, instead of M, I'll write 100. No. If the percentage markup is 20 rupees or 40 rupees is the markup, and an item is sold for, let's say, 30% discount. So instead of M, I will write plus 40. Instead of discount, I will write minus 30. Plus into minus, minus 40 into 30 upon 100. So 40 minus 30, 10 minus 12, that would be minus the 2%. So that would be the net loss percentage. Negative profit is called profit. A negative profit is called loss.
Got it, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir. Clear.
Perfect. So this is an application of the whole scenario. Okay. Coming back to this thing. Coming back to this thing with you. If I say initial change final, there are two ways of going about it. One is initial plus or minus change is called final, or initial multiplied by something is becoming final. So this MF is called multiplying factor, which is nothing but final upon initial. It is a very important concept. It will be useful for you in a very long go. Okay. So what is multiplying factor? It is always final upon initial. Is it okay? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
The final thing denotes where my arrow is pointing. The initial thing denotes where it is starting. Okay. The concept is called multiplying factor. Clear? Can we move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I'll try to teach you one more formula, that is 1 plus or minus A into 1 plus or minus B into 1 plus or minus C and so on would be equal to 1 plus or minus F, and that would be equal to final upon initial. Now this is also the formula for successive percentage if more than two things are happening. Okay, more than two things are happening means if the question says there is a markup percentage of 40%, then there is a successive discount of 10% and 20%. Okay, so can you tell me what is the net profit or loss in the items sold. Can you try this question, guys? Can you try this question?
Yes.
So did we get the answer?
So if we take the initial price at 100, the final is coming to be 100.8.
What is
So
coming up to be 100.8?
the final, if we take the initial price as 100,
Hmm.
the final price after
The whole target,
markup and discount is coming to be 100.8.
100.8.
Yes.
Okay. Let us cross check. Okay. So, just a minute. So if I say or try to apply this particular formula here, what is A, B, C, and final and F? These all are fractional values. These all are fractional values of the percentage. Okay. Fractional values of the percentage. What does that mean? Now, if I write 40 percentage, so what is a percentage value? The percentage value is 40. Simple. Okay. So what is a fraction value? The fractional value is going to be 40 per upon cent means 100. 40%. That can be done as 2 by 5 also. Did you understand this thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I use this formula now, so instead of 40 percentage, what will I write? 1 plus 2 by 5. Why plus? Because it is markup, so it is plus. Then what is 10 percentage? It is 1 upon 10. Just write 10 percentage as 10 upon 100. You will get 1 upon 10. Write 20 percentage as 20 upon 100. You will get 1 upon 5. Right? So this would be 1 minus 1 upon 5. Now that is equals to 1 plus f. We don't know the value of f. Okay, you have to calculate that. So what would that be? 5 plus 2, 7 by 5. 10 minus 1, 9 by 10. 5 minus 1, 4 by 5. Isn't it? Now, can we cut something? No. So that would be 5 5s are 25 into 10, 250 upon what would that be? 7 9s are 63. 63 into 4. 63, 4 is double ka double. So the double is 126. The double of 126 would be 252, I guess.
252.
Yeah. So now, what is f? Because 1 plus f was this much. So f would be 252 upon 250 minus 1. You have to take minus on this side. So that would be 252 minus 250. That would be 2 upon 250, right? So my final change is of this much. But what is capital F percentage? It would be small f into 100. So what is that? Fractional value, which is 2 upon 250 into 100. Now 25 tens are, 25 fours are. So 4 into 2, 8 upon 10, or 0.8 is your answer. Is it clear? Which you got also. Right? This is what you got earlier.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
sir.
Right? So this is a formula which could also have been used in this particular case. Okay, an application of that. What was the limitation of this formula? A plus B plus AB upon 100. It can only be used for 2 percentages. Okay, but it's not like you cannot use it at all. If the same question is 40%, then it is Discount 1 is 10%, discount 2 is 20%. What is the overall percentage change if I have to use A plus B plus AB upon 100 formula? The logic is pretty simple. Apply it for two percentages, get the answer, then apply it for the third percentage, and then get the overall answer. Okay, can I do it for you? It would be 40 minus 10 if I am doing it for the first two. So 40 minus 10 minus 40 into 10 upon 100. So that would be 40 minus 10, 30, 30 minus 4, 26. So 26% is what we got the answer as. Now, this is plus 26. Now I have to use the third percentage also. That would be, what would this solution be now? It would be 26 minus 20. Now plus into minus would be minus 26 into 20 upon 100. Right? That would be 26 minus 20 would be 6 minus 6 2s are 12. 2 2s are 4 plus 1, 5. 52 upon 10 would be 5.2. 6 minus 5.2 would be 0.8. And that would be your answer. Understood?
Yes.
Understood, guys?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
it wouldn't have mattered if I would have first solved minus 10 and minus 20. So minus into minus would be plus 10 into 20 upon 100. My net answer would be minus 30 plus 2. Minus 30 plus 2 minus 28. So this is the discount, net discount. Now then with 40, I can use another, again I should say, with 40% minus 28%. What would the formula become? 40 minus 28 plus into minus would be minus 40 into 28 upon 100. Now 40 minus 28 is 12 and 28 twos are 56, 56 twos are 112, 112 upon 10, 11.2. Again, my answer would be the same thing. Are you getting a grasp of the concept now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So this is successive percentage. Formula number 1, I explained it to you. Then formula number 2, this one. Okay, you should remember these formulas. At the same time, initial change final is a thing which will be helpful for you for ages. Well, not for ages, but for your preparation stage for sure. Okay, because the concept which I just taught to you, it would be used in data interpretation, it would be used in profit and loss, it would be used in SI and CI. Even, can I give you a best application of this thing, this formula? Can I give you the best application of this formula?
Yes, sir.
Just see. Just see one very beautiful thing. If I say, if A comma B comma C, all of them are equal, and all of them are equal to small r. And what is small r equal to? Capital R upon 100, isn't it? Isn't it? So if A, B, C, all of them are equal, and so what would this become? 1 plus R into 1 plus R into 1 plus R, and so on. And we already know what is initial called. In the concept of principal and amount, initial is called principal and the final is called amount, isn't it?
Yes,
And if
sir.
I compare this thing with this thing, what would that become? The final thing is amount, the initial thing is principal. Now 1 plus R into 1 plus R is 1 plus R square. 1 plus R into 1 plus R into 1 plus R, it is 1 plus R cube. If it is for n times, it would be equal to 1 plus R to the power of n. So can I say amount is equals to principal into 1 plus R to the power of n, or amount is equals to principal instead of small r, if I write capital R upon 100? Isn't this the formula you have studied in the concept of compound interest? isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So now are you getting the hold of how important this first session or an introduction session is going to be for you?
Yes, sir. It gives a base of understanding.
Yes. So it would again. I'll take. I just see if if I have that that PPT with me or not. Oh, I do have. Luckily, I do have. Okay. Let me just discuss one more thing with you. Hmm. Okay. So are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is evolution of IIMs. Earlier, there used to be just two of the IIMs which used to conduct their own examination. Like IIM Ahmedabad was there, IIM Calcutta was there. Then came the year 1973 when IIM Bangalore also came and said this. I will also be an IIM now. Uh, it started taking its own examination again. So there were three IIMs which are taking their own examination. Then comes IIM Lucknow. Because IIM Lucknow was a baby IIM of that time of the year 1984, and thereby the three ABC IMs said that we will help you out in conducting the examination. You don't have the correct sources as of now. And that is the first time the common admission test term was coined in the year 1984 when ABC tried to help Lucknow. Okay. Then in 1996, I am Indore, I am Kozhikode was there. Okay. And till the year 1996, all these IAMs are still called the main IAMs or the old IAMs, which are named by the term of Blackie. You know this term, Blackie? It denotes Bangalore, Lucknow, Ahmedabad, Calcutta, Kozhikode, and Indore. So these are the top six IAMs, right? Then 2007 Shillong was there, which so Blackest came into being. So these were the seven old IAMs. Then Smriti Irani became the education minister, and she signed that there are, Smriti Irani, right? There used to be a Hindi TV series called Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, that fame. Smriti Irani becomes education minister. She says 13 more IIMs let's introduce. So from between the year 2010 and 2016, 30 new IIMs were introduced then. Okay, these are all evolution, but this is not what I wanted to discuss with you. Okay, this is a paper pattern which you already know. Okay, now the paper pattern in the COVID year it started. Earlier there used to be earlier there used to be 34, 32, and 34 questions. That is 100 questions, 3 hours. Okay, first VRC section used to be there. Then used to come LRDI section, and then in the last quantitative aptitude section, there was sectional cutoffs. Right now from now onwards, from 2021 till now, the current scenario or the current pattern is you will get the first 24 questions of VRC in that you have to solve in the first 40 minutes. After that, you will get LRDI 22 questions. Again, there's a sectional cutoff. You have to solve it in 40 minutes, and then would come the last 20 questions of cognitive aptitude. That is a scenario like. Okay. Now, again, the major thing I wanted to discuss with you in quantitative aptitude is this thing. So, what did we discuss? ERPV, the concept of percentage profit and loss, the concept of SICI. Can you see how many questions came out of this? Okay, 6 questions out of 22 questions. Can you find a percentage of that? That would be 27.27%, guys. So that is the the weightage of this topic that we are discussing right now. The introduction part. Okay. Even though Venn diagrams, I was saying Venn diagrams, PNC and probability is considered in modern maths, it hasn't come a lot in the last 3, 4, 5 years. But at the same time, in LRDI, Venn diagram comes. In LRDI, PNC and probability concept would actually enhance your thinking capability. Okay, so all these things are important for you. Is it understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let us play a game. Are you ready for a small game?
Yes, sure, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So what you can do is you can take out your calculator. Okay, in the mobile or anywhere you want. And what you have to do is, I'll tell you a small task. The task is simple. You have to find the cube of every number. You know how to find a cube root? Do you know how to find a cube root? The basic method you must have studied, right? Arey beta, you can say no.
Sir, on a calculator, yes.
Okay, I
I
calculated.
don't
No.
remember the formula.
Uh, so again, there's no direct formula. There was a method which used to be there. Let's say someone is saying 4096. Find a cube root of that. So you have to take pairs of 3. Then say 4. What is the nearest cube to 4? That used to be 1. So the same number you used to write here. Then you should double this particular number. 1 plus 1, 2. Okay, then you need to write here something and here something, which when gets multiplied would give the same answer. Okay, so that used to be a basic method. Okay, I'm not going by that method. I will today, I will teach you a particular method with the help of which you can find the cube root of any number without using pen and paper. Do you think it is possible for you? Seeing your phobia of maths, tell me honestly, do you trust me that I will be able to teach you a method of finding the cube root without pen and paper?
Sir,
Are you
I'll
telling
take
me?
your word for it.
Thank you. I'm so obliged. Okay,
Yes, sir.
chalo, good. So, simple task. What do you have to do? You have to find the cube of any number which lies between 1 to 100 in the starting. Then we'll expand this particular thing also. So find a cube of any number. You don't tell me which cube you are finding. Tell me the answer. I will try to find out the cube root of that, and then we will discuss the method of it. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So give me the answer. Which cube root I have to find?
$64.
Arey, इतना छोटा नहीं. Not so small. Okay. Have trust on me. I'm saying 1 to 100 ka
Sir,
cube. Yeah. The answer
is
is
there a
4.
range? Is there a range between which I should say the number?
Any number between 1 to 100, find the cube of that and give me the answer to that.
175616.
175.
616.
So is it the cube is of 56?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next.
Seven four zero double eight.
740
Double eight.
88. Okay. Is it of 42?
Yes, sir.
Next.
Sir, 262144.
262 144. Okay. So that would be of 54.
54?
Yeah, but oh, sorry. 54. 64.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next.
614125.
614125.
5.
Okay, that would be of 85.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have to give me 6 more. Quick, quick.
941192.
98.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next.
884736.
736. 96.
Yes, sir.
Next.
704969.
Okay. No. 89.
Yes, sir.
Next.
Sir, 389017.
017.
7.
Okay. So that would be 73, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next.
125.
5.
Yes, sir.
Give me a bigger number. Okay. 125,000, let's say. So that would be a 50. We'll learn
Uh,
method because of that also. Yeah.
287496.
287.
496.
496. So that would be of 66.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, again, you got to know that it is possible. Okay. Now, let's try to make it possible for you as well. Okay. So it's a very simplest method, I would say. Okay. So you just need to know the cubes from 1 to 10. Okay. But ideally, for a CAT aspirant, the cubes of 1 to 15, you should be knowing. Okay. We'll try to make sure. So what is 1 cube?
1.
What is 2 cube?
8.
What is 3 cube?
27.
Very good. What is 4 cube?
64.
5 cube?
125.
6 cube? That is 216.
2.
7 cube is 343. 8 cube is 512. 9 cube, it is 729. 10 cube is 1000. As I told you, you must be knowing, you should be knowing the cube still 15 or 16. So I'll write them those also for you. So 12 cube would be 1728. 13 cube would be 2197. 14 cube would be 2744. 15 cube would be 3755 or not. What is 15 cube? What is 15 cube, guys?
3375.
3375, yes. Okay. 16 cube is 4096. Okay. 17 cube, I don't know. 18 cube, I don't know. 19 cube, I don't know. But 20 cube, I know. Would be 8000. Okay. Now, let me discuss with you why I wrote all these numbers in such a fashion. So if you see these numbers, these are, see this are the numbers. These are straight numbers. These are good numbers. Okay. What do I mean by that? I mean that any number ending with a 1, its cube will end with a 1. Any number ending with a 4, its cube will end with a 4. Any number ending with 5, its cube will end with a 5. Any number ending with 6, its cube will end with a 6. Any number ending with 9, its cube will end with a 9. And any number ending with 0, its cube will
End with 0.
no, with 3 zeros.
Oh, yes. Sorry. 3 zeros.
Okay. So these are serious other numbers. These are straight numbers. Okay. Now,
So could you just repeat the numbers once?
1, any cube ending with a 1, its cube will end with a 1. Any cube ending with 4, its cube will end with a 4. Any cube ending with 5, its cube will end with a 5. Any cube ending with 6, its cube will end with a 6. Any cube ending with 9, its cube will end with a 9. And any cube ending with 0, its cube will end with 3 zeros. Is it understood now?
Yes, sir.
So, can you tell me the unit digit of this cube? It's ending with a 6. So, what will this number be ending with?
6.
Yes. It will be ending with, this number will be ending with,
4.
and this will be ending with,
5.
this will be ending with, this one,
6.
this will be ending with,
9.
and this will be ending with,
6.
and this will be ending with.
3 zeros.
No, the cube has 3 zeros, but the cube root will be ending with a single 0, right?
Yes, sir. Sorry. Yeah.
Perfect. Now, there are few numbers which I was able to solve using this logic, or if I would have written it down, I would have been wrong. Why? Because these are pair of exceptions. These are pair of exceptions. What do I mean by that? I mean any number ending with a 2, its cube will end with a 8. And any number ending with 8, its cube will end with a 2. So isn't it a pair? 2's cube, any ending with the 2 will be 8 and 8 will be 2. 2, 8, 8, 2. Understood? A pair of exception. The second pair of exception is 3. Any number ending with 3, its cube will end with a 7 and the 7 one will end with a 3. Is it understood? See here. The cube
Yes.
of the cube of 12 ends with a 8. And I don't know 18 cube, but what I know for sure that 18 cube will be ending with a 2. Similarly, 13 cubes end with a 7 and 17 cube will be ending with a 3. Is it understood now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So using this logic here, now can you tell me this number ends with a 8, its cube root will end with a end with a 2. 2, 8, 3, 7. These are pair. Okay. Ending with a 2, its cube root will end with a
8.
very good. This ends with a 7. Its cube root will end with a
3.
3. Very good. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So half intelligent you have become already, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Half phobia gone.
So half is there. So the other half, let's discuss that also. Okay. So now the second half you have to guess by using a simple logic. Just ignore the last 3 digits. After ignoring the last 3 digits, whatever is remaining, it is 175. Now think, a number whose cube is lesser than 175. Cube which is lesser than 175.
5 cube?
Yes. So 175 would lie somewhere between 125 and 216, right? So the number, a perfect cube which is lesser than 175 is 125, which is of 5 cube. So the unit digit, the tens digit would be a 5. Understood now?
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, let me discuss with you the logic behind that. The logic behind that is also very simple. Because 50 cube is 125,000, right? 60 cube is 216,000. Because 6 cube is 216. Just write 3 zeros along with that. Now, the number 175616 lies between this number and this number, isn't it? Isn't
Yes,
it?
sir.
So, more than 50, less than 60. Tell me a number which ends with a 6. How many numbers will be there?
56.
That is the logic.
Oh,
Okay.
got it, sir.
Talking about the second one, a small error which most of the students do is they take up the first 3 digits. No, guys. You have to ignore the last 3 digits. So you do not have to take 740. You have to take only 74. Is it understood?
Yes,
So
sir.
now think of a number lesser than 74, which is a cube.
4 cube.
Yes. So that means here will be 4. Simple.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Now, give me
Yes.
just solve the next question. Let's see who gets the answer first.
64.
Very good. Because 262 lesser than 262 would be 216. Okay.
Yes.
So that is 64. The next one. The next one.
85.
Yes. Lesser than 614. The cube is 512, which is of 8. So 85. Okay. Similarly, the next one.
98.
Very good. Less than 941. The cube is of 7. The cube is 729, and the cube root would be 9. Yes.
Yes.
Next one.
96.
Again 96. The next one.
89.
Very good. 89. Because the lesser because 80 cube or 8 cube is 512. 9 cube is 729. So somewhere between that is 704. So below that is 8. Is the 8. Understood now? The last 3 ones quickly.
73.
73 because 7 cube is 343. So that's why 73. The next one.
50.
50. Very simple, right? 125 is the cube root of 125 would be 5. Okay. The next one.
66.
Yes. Because Below this is 60 cube is 216, 70 cube is 343000. Between these two numbers, the number 287496 would be coming, and that's why it would be a number which is more than 60, less than 70, and ending with a 6. Only one number can exist, that is 66. Okay, so now you are confident that you didn't have my word and it got filled, right?
Yes,
You were
sir.
able to get the
Yes.
logic. Good.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Clear.
we discussed the fundamental of percentages. We discussed the fundamental of Vedic maths or speed mathematics. Now, what all things you should be knowing as a prerequisite of the first class. Okay, understand that thing very properly. You need to know 1 to 15 cubes. You need to know 1 to 30 squares. You need to know 1 upon 1 to 1 upon 30 fraction values or the percentage values of that. As soon as you got, I did you remember I solved this question for you when I was explaining that in CAT 2021, from the concept of ERPV and profit and loss and SICI, 6 questions came. Okay, and I simply wrote here the answer to that. How was I able to do that? Because if you know that what is 1 upon 9, it is 11.11%. What is 1 upon 11? It is simply just
9.09.
very good. So as soon as you know this thing, and when you take up what is 3 by 11, so if 1 upon 11 is this much, so 3 upon 11 would be, take the triple of 9, 27. Take the triple of 9 again, 27. So that would become your answer. Okay. So these things you should be knowing. 2 ki power 1 up till 2 ki power 12, 3 ki power 1 to 3 ki power 6, 5 ki power 1 to 5 ki power 4 is more than sufficient. Okay. Tables, if you know, it's of very helpful. If you know, okay. But these are like the prerequisite things. Even if the authoring calculator is allowed, still these are very important things, because if you're preparing for CAT, that doesn't mean you won't be giving examination of SNAP, NMAT, ZAT, you know, ETMA, CMAT, where in most of the examinations the calculator is not allowed, and it you will not be able to even be able to use the calculator if you don't know, let's say cube root. There's no way of finding the cube root using the calculator which is given to you in the examination, because only plus, minus, multiply, and divide you can do. So you can do the cube by doing 8 into 8 into 8. But how will you do under root of 5 and 2 using, if you don't know the cube root of that? Okay. So these are the prerequisites. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now talking about the main topic which I will be taking with you, that would be LRDI. Okay, so these are the topics: games and tournament, logic based, number based, arrangements, linear circular distribution, selection metrics, Venn diagram set theory. So do you know, or have you attended some lecture on that, or do you have a basic concept of any one of them?
Not
Yes,
much,
sir.
sir.
For
Okay, so which one you have a concept on?
Venn diagrams, matrix, and arrangement.
Okay, so you have a basic idea of these two things. Okay. Now, with the help of one more fundamental on percentages only, I will try to take up a very important. You all are good in English, I assume. Studying in symbiosis, anyways, means something good in communication skills is there, right? So, still, I will try to teach you a concept which is after the word of, after the word then, after the word with respect to. after the word related to, after the word by, as, after from. Okay. After all these words, whichever noun comes, whichever noun comes, we always talk with respect to that. Okay? We always talk with respect to that. What do you mean by noun?
Name of a person, place, animal, or thing.
Very good. Okay, so this concept is used in the concept of direction sense. It is used in the concept of blood relation. It will be used in the concept of arrangements. Even it would be used in the concept of percentages. How? Okay, so different chapters, different meaning of this particular concept. Okay, if I talk about direction sense and I say the basics of direction sense, there are four main directions: north, south, west, and east. Right? The way to remember this logic is we write from north to south and west to east. We write from north to south and west to east. So west here, east here. Okay. Now, if I say there's Pakistan somewhere here, there is Bangladesh somewhere here, there is Sri Lanka somewhere here, and I say, where is Pakistan from Sri Lanka? Can you tell me the answer?
Northwest.
Very good. So the next question, what is the direction of Sri Lanka with respect to Bangladesh?
South.
Okay. Let us discuss. So what did I mention? After the word from, Sri Lanka came. So in the chapter of direction sense, what do? We sit on top of that particular person or a noun after the word from comes. That means after the word from, Sri Lanka came. So we'll sit on top of Sri Lanka and see where is the first person. So the first person was between north and west. So my answer would be northwest. Understood? Here,
Yes, sir.
after the word with respect to, what was the noun that came? It was Bangladesh. So what will I do? I'll sit on top of Bangladesh and see this first noun, which was Sri Lanka. So direction would be south, between south and west. So the answer would be southwest. Understood this?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second chapter, blood relations. So who is your favorite actor? Who's your favorite actor?
So it's
Arey,
a
anyone?
South Indian actor, Vijay Deverakonda.
So Vijay Deverakonda also acted in this recent movie of Shah Rukh Khan also, na? What was that?
So I don't remember the name.
Oh, sorry, no, he did not. Vijay Deverakonda acted in that movie, that Liger, right?
With
Yeah,
yeah.
So is he married?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So let's take an actor who's married. So let's say Shah Rukh Khan, you all know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. The wife of Shah Rukh Khan name is Gauri, right? So is he married?
I don't think so. No. Yes, sir. 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 Yes, sir.
Okay. The wife of Shah Rukh Khan name is Gauri, right? and they have a child named Abraham. So if I say, uh, how is Abraham related to Gauri? A simple question. Is it child or is it mother? If these are the two options.
Child.
Okay. So after the word related to, whosoever comes, we will not sit on top of that person. Okay. But we will ask that person, what is your relation with the first noun? Okay. So we will ask Gauri, what is your relation with Abraham? So Gauri would call Abraham her child. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the chapter of direction sense, we sit on top of that person. In the chapter of blood relation, we will ask that person, ask that noun, what we will call the first noun. And in arrangements, if I say A is two places to the left of B. Okay. So what would the answer be? Can you tell me? A is two places to the left of B. Okay. And I say these are the options. This is the position of A and B. This is the position of A and B. This is the position of A and B. So what would your answer be?
So option B.
Very good. Okay. So first thing first, after the word of, whichever noun comes, we will make sure that that particular noun sits first. Then to the left of that, we have to see. Okay. So A is to the left of B, if it would have said, this would be have been a scenario. But n places away means there's a logic. N places away means n minus 1 gaps between them. Okay. If I say n places away means n minus 1 gaps between them. So when it said two places away, or I would say uh, 0 places away. So 0 place away means if B is sitting here, A would be sitting on top of that. Okay. 1 place to the left here, 2 places to the left means 1 place and the 2 place. So yes, you were very correct. This would have been the answer. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, sir, n places away and two places to means the same thing. Like the phrases can be used interchanged.
Not exactly. A is 2 places away from B. That means after from B comes, so we will put B first. But 2 places away means 1 place, 2 place. But it can also mean this thing, right? So in the word away, to the left or right was not mentioned. Understanding?
Yeah.
So that is the reason. Clear?
Sir,
Now,
so A is 2 places away from B would be also be B option, right?
would would we? It is a possibility. B option, this thing is a possibility. But if there's a D option saying B space A, so my actual answer would be B or and D. Yeah, B or D.
Oh, okay, sir. So when it's left off and from, it means the same almost.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
got it.
Now, in the chapter of percentages, how is it used? Okay. So if I say A is here, B is here, A is 40, B is 50. And if it's ask you, A is X percentage of B. If it asks you, A is Y percentage less than B. And it asks you, B is Z percentage more than A. Okay. So what is X, Y, and Z? Can you tell me? Can you tell me that?
First is 80.
Very good. So after all these words, whichever noun comes in the chapter of percentages, we will make that particular noun as my total for the fractional part. Understanding this part? Because in the starting we discussed this particular thing, that what is percentage. We did not discuss percentages per se, but yes, we discussed fraction. Okay. So there is a very basic rule, basic logic, that what is a comparison, what is a relation between a fraction and percentage? Fraction, when gets multiplied with 100, it becomes percentage. Okay. So fraction is part upon total into 100 would be called percentage. Right? So after the word of, after the word then, okay, whichever noun comes, and all of the other words that I used, whichever noun comes, we'll make that particular noun the total of the fraction. Is it understood now? Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So after the word of, B comes, so we'll put B here. Okay. Then, because percentage is used, so we'll multiply with the 100. Now, B is compared with what? Now, B is directly being compared with A. So we'll put A on the top of it. So the answer would be A upon B into 100. So what is A? 40. What is B? 50 into 100. So the answer would be 80. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, the second question. Can you tell me the answer to this?
So here we take the base as A or B.
See, after
Which,
the word then, did we
hmm,
mention it? When I mentioned then, I meant more than, less than, greater than, smaller than, everything. After the word then, whichever noun comes, we'll take it as a base. So after the word less than, because B comes, so here B will be coming in the denominator. Here, after more than, what has come? A comes. So we'll put A in the denominator. Understood this?
yes. So the answer for the second one is 20%.
Good. Now, what is the going to come in the numerator part of it?
The difference between A and B.
Very good. Okay, less than or more than means the difference part. And that is the reason when this answer came, the difference is of 10 and B will be coming 50 here. So this value would be 20%. But that doesn't mean that B is also 20% more than A. Y and Z will not be the same values. Mainly because the difference would be 10. But here the base is different, guys. The base would be 40 here.
It's 25%.
Very good. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one of you were able to answer to this particular question. What is 1 upon 9 and 1 upon 11? Okay. So have you learned all these lectures? Oh, sorry. Have you, this session has already happened with you?
Yesterday, when learning percentages, we learned the tricks to
Okay.
remember.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so just remember and actually revise all of them again because we will be using a lot of them. Okay, not just in LRDA alone, but also in the portion of quantitative aptitude. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, anything else you are having a doubts on as of now regarding your preparation? What all will be covered? What needs to be done? Anything you are, a little baffled about that how all things will happen? Anything you want to ask? It's an introduction class. We did not study a particular topic of, uh, you know, uh, games and tournament or anything. I did not make you teach that thing. But the motto of this particular lecture was mainly to make you little more aware about the kind of things which are a prerequisite and a lot of fundamental things. Okay. So anything you want to ask?
So, like, we already have the books for DI. So, how do we start preparing? Like,
Okay.
which topics to start first, or a way to go about it?
See, ideally about quant, I can say you can start with the topic which is being started with you. But LRDI, it's not the wise decision to start with a particular, games and tournament or something like that. But yes, you can start with arrangements if you have time and if you want to go about it. Okay. So arrangement is something which you can do. You can discuss your doubts with us, send us your doubts. Okay, because arrangement, the fundamental lecture I would take, there will be a particular lecture I'll take. I'll take few, caselets with you. Based on those caselet and based on, all the basic things, uh, arrangements would go like that only. Okay, all the 4 or 5 chapters of arrangements would go in that manner. But yes, if you have time, you can start doing arrangements. You can start making mistakes, and based on that, we can, move ahead. But before, apart from that, I will not suggest you to, start with everything. And one more thing, you are starting your preparation now. Uh, just remember one very small thing that it's all about PNC, not permutation combination. It's all about your persistency and consistency. Okay, you have to be consistent in your way of learning. That means you know the meaning of persistency and consistency.
Yes, sir.
Right. So till you're not able to solve something or you're not able to understand something, don't lose hope. Okay. Be persistent in your approach. Okay. If we are not able to make you understand, ask again. Okay. And I have been teaching for the last 12 years. I have 99.9 plus percentile for more than 5, 6 times now in the last 12 years of my giving CAT. So I am confident that I will be able to guide you properly, but it's more about how much you are able to churn out of me and every other faculty for that particular matter. Right. So you have to be persistent in your way of learning. then you have to be consistent. It's not about that because you are starting now, you have your study material with you, so you start doing a lot of things. Okay, and but it's good you start doing a lot of things, but it's more about being consistent in that. If you are studying for, let's say, 5 hours daily, or 4 hours daily, or even 3 hours daily, so this 3 hours should maintain. Some days it can be 5 hours also, some days it can be 2.5 hours also. But you have to set a benchmark that this much I will devote for sure. Okay, even though you are good in English, you can you need to be because again, I am also from a convent school. Okay, I am sure you must be from a very good school as well, and that is why what is the issue with us? Tell you that we know this sentence. He didn't went there. He didn't went there is a wrong English, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But what is the rule behind that?
Use of present and past tense.
So I don't know, but I know that after didn't, it shouldn't be went. Okay, past doesn't exist. Okay, he didn't go should have been the correct one. So the parts of speech and the basic things we don't remember. We don't know the basic rules of that. Okay, but we know which is correct, which is wrong. Okay, so the contextual meaning is one thing which you might struggle with a little, uh, and a lot of ambiguities are there. Okay, you have to have a very good grammar also. So if you can, if you are starting and if you don't have a lot of lectures have already happened with you, if not a lot of lectures have happened with you, the best thing is to go by what is being done, do that. Apart from that, lay more focus on all of these things. Let's say lay more focus on uh, reading a lot of editorials, you know, doing some RC handouts or study material if you have RC questions, and see what are you getting correct, what are you getting wrong. Okay, so as of now you can do this much, and then when a lot of things will be covered, then we can move ahead, right? Anything else you want to ask?
No, sir. It's all clear.
Okay, so anyways, we will meet in the next class. We'll start with a particular topic, which is games and tournament.